So I just discovered something in Mario Kart World that I have not seen anybody talking about. I discovered something really weird about how coins work in this game. And it's not just some strange little fun fact, this is practical information that you need to know if you want to be good at Mario Kart World. So basically, coins don't work like how you would expect. Let me explain. First of all, we need to get something clear. There has been some wrong information going around about the coin. I've been streaming and making videos, and I get a lot of comments telling me about what the coin does because I haven't personally researched it yet, so I didn't say anything about it. But people keep telling me that when you get to 20 coins, that makes you about 4% or slightly less than 4% faster. That means that each coin only gives you about a 0.2% increase to your speed. And therefore, coins are not as good as they were in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So, where is the misinformation? Well, number 1 is wrong. Number 2 is really wrong. And number 3 is kind of wrong. So today, I'm going to show you the tests that I did for the coin so you can see once and for all what the coin actually does. So first, I tested how much faster does 20 coins make you compared to 0 coins. I tried to make this as controlled of an experiment as possible, and I did lots of tests to see if there were any errors. What I did was I just found a really long section on Crown City, and I timed how long it took to get from the finish line up to this yellow line. Then I just counted how many frames it took each racer to make it there. I did more than just one test, but this is the test that came out closest to the average, so I'll just tell you what I got on this one. With 0 coins, it took this many frames, and with 20 coins, it took this many frames, which is a difference of 5.3%. In other words, having 20 coins makes you go about 5.3% faster. But I didn't just test this combo, I also tested a much faster combo. And I ran the exact same test, but again, I'm not counting until they get to the finish line because then I'm sure that they've actually hit their top speed. So the cow with 0 coins took this many frames, and the cow with 20 coins took this many frames, which is a difference of 4.5%. Now, you might be wondering why we have 2 different numbers here. It's not because I'm doing anything wrong. I've repeated these experiments and gotten roughly the same numbers again. This also happened in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe because coins may not actually work on a percentage increase. If it's a constant increase, then you can see that for a slower combo, the same increase counts as a bigger percentage. And this is exactly how it worked in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe as well. It ranged from about 6 to 7% depending on your combo, and it looks like in this game, it ranges from about 4.5 to 5.3%. And if you don't want to memorize that range of percents, then you can just say the speed increase from 20 coins is about 5%. As more information comes out about the code behind this game, then we will have updated numbers on that, but this is just based on my experiment. So yeah, a lot of people have been telling me the speed increase of 20 coins is less than 4%, but it's actually about 5%. Now, how did this happen? People have tested this and gotten a different result from me. All I'm going to say here is that steering causes you to lose speed and you can get an inaccurate result. Okay, next up is the really weird part. So if having 20 coins gives you about a 5% increase in speed, then if you do the math, it seems like each coin gives you a 2.5% increase in speed, making coins less important than Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Do you see why saying this might be wrong? In order to do the math here, we made an assumption about how this game works. And I've been talking about this a lot recently. People come into this game with a lot of experience and then start making a lot of assumptions about how things work. But remember, this is a video game made of code, and Nintendo makes weird decisions. So they can put anything they want in this code, and sometimes it's something really strange. So the problem here is that we are assuming that each coin does the same thing as every other coin. That is not true. And it only took me one more test to find this out. Because I didn't just compare 0 coins to 20 coins, I compared 0 coins to 10 coins. And for this particular combo, if 20 coins is giving me a 5.3% increase, then with only half as many coins, you should expect half as big of a speed increase, which is about 2.6%. But that's not what we get. Instead, having 10 coins makes you go 3.6% faster. In other words, the first 10 coins that you collect is more than twice as important as the final 10 coins that you collect. And if you don't believe me, watch this. This is 10 coins versus 20 coins. And you can easily see that the speed difference is way smaller. But why is the first 10 coins more important than the next 10 coins? And if that's the case, what if every coin gives you a different amount of speed? And the only way to know the answer to that is by testing it. So I tested the speed increase of every single coin. Yes, every coin count from 0 to 20, I found out exactly how much faster that makes you. And here is all of them on screen at once, just so you know I'm not pulling any funny business, and you can confirm all of this for yourself if you'd like. For every single one, I checked how long it took to get from the moment the finish line hits the bottom of the screen to the moment that final line right there hits the bottom of the screen. I timed each of these and put them in a spreadsheet, and let me show you what I found. Alright, we're going to take a look at a spreadsheet, but I'm going to make this very simple. So first off, we have every number of coins you can have, and then in the next column, we have how many seconds it took to get from the finish line all the way to that final line. So with 0 coins, it took 14.1 seconds, and with 20 coins, it took 13.4 seconds. Now, this is not exactly precise because I did count in frames, not in seconds, but I'll show you the data for that at the end here. So next up, we have the speed change in total. So when you have 0 coins, that's your base speed. When you have 1 coin, you have a 1.3% increase to your speed. And when you have 20 coins, you have a 5.1% increase. This is because I tested with Toadette, and Toadette had more speed than Biddybud. And now the moment you've all been waiting for, the speed change per coin. So the first coin gives you a 1.3% increase to your speed. The second coin gives you a 0.5% increase to your speed. Huge drop off. Then 0.4, 0.2, 0.2, this 0.3 and 0.3, and also this 0.3 going down to 0 and back to 0.1. This is probably just small mistakes in the measurements. And let me just justify that right now, because as you can see, we're counting frames here, and I don't have a long enough distance to work with. When we start to get to the higher coin counts, it's like 12 coins and 13 coins took the exact same number of frames. I think it's just like some of these errors can be off by 1 frame. That's what's happening here. So the data looks a bit weird, but we can definitely see the way that it's trending. The first few coins do way more, and it immediately drops off to hardly doing anything. Now here's where it gets weird, because coin 19 and coin 20 are insane. The 20th coin, which should be the worst one, is as good as the 3rd coin. And I know this is a lot of numbers, so I made a little chart. Percent change versus coins. I know I should go touch grass, but it's just like 1 click to make this chart. So from 0 coins to 1 coin, huge increase, and then it starts to taper off, and suddenly there is a huge jump right at the end, where coin 19 and 20 suddenly matter a lot. For you science people out there, I know the line is not supposed to be connected. I couldn't figure out how to just make it dots. Now, let's come back to the start and correct the misinformation that has been going around. It is incorrect that 20 coins makes you less than 4% faster. There is a range of percentages that coins can increase your speed, but it is roughly 5%. It is incorrect to say that each coin gives you any constant percentage increase, because each coin gives you a different amount of speed. It is incorrect to say that coins in Mario Kart World are less important than coins in Mario Kart 8 Deluxe, because coin number 1 is like 2 coins from Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. So how can we take this advice into our races and become better Mario Kart players? My best advice for you is that coins are still important. Get them if it's easy, but if you have to go out of your way for them, it's probably not worth it after about 7 coins. Obviously, in time trials, it really starts to depend, but this information is arguably more important in time trials, because when you race against a ghost, you can actually see how much time you lose when you go out of your way for coins. And now that we know what every single coin does, you can accurately calculate which coins you should and shouldn't go for based on how much time you're losing in order to get them. So that's about it. I hope you learned something new, and the next time we will be ranking all the ways to be straight.